Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene. Today's date, August 27, 2025. Time in Texas, about 1 p.m. Some of the sources I'll use today, Hal Turner, Real Raw News, ABC News Plus, Daily Mail. Some of the things we'll cover: breaking news, a mass casualty event, a shooting at a church that tragically has resulted in the death of young children. President Trump says, please pray. So that's going on. We currently have in the tropics, Fernando, a tropical storm in the Atlantic along the East Coast, but it's turning east away from the U.S., and we have no other areas of tropical disturbance. We have space weather quiet. So we'll begin with this tragic event that took place today, August 27, about 9 a.m. in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A shooter approached a church where a Catholic church that also sponsors a Catholic school. I know one of my G's attended a private Catholic school from 6th to 8th grade. She obtained an excellent education, including Latin, which she'll use as she pursues being a veterinarian at Texas A&M and beginning next year. So this was a Catholic church school, and first day of school, and the children were inside the church saying Mass, and the church had in place a bolt across its front door, so it did have some security in place. The shooter shot through the window and hit approximately 20 to 21 individuals. 3 were killed. That would be 1 adult plus 1 8-year-old and 1 10-year-old. And then there were approximately 14 wounded, including adults and children. We understand that several are critical, several have already gone into surgery. So that's going on. It was at the Annunciation Catholic Church located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 3 children were killed, including an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 17 wounded. And it was a Catholic school, pre-K through 8th grade. President Trump was immediately briefed, and he placed a condolence call to the Dem governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. And the gunman somehow, the gunman used 3 weapons: a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, and fired multiple rounds. There were in the neighborhood some law enforcement and firemen who immediately went to the school on foot, armed, and it's believed they gave pursuit to the gunman, and somehow we are being told that the gunman somehow entered the church through the back door, where he killed himself in a self-inflicted wound. Now, it's my belief this was an MK Ultra individual who was triggered and then, as is always, kills themselves. The law enforcement and the FBI are involved, are not putting out the identity of the shooter, and we, the American people, know any American citizen with a driver's license, a passport, and so on is in federal databases and can be identified through facial recognition. So that's going on. We're told the shooter is in his 20s. President Trump called Governor Tim Walz to express his condolences, and President Trump posted on social media, "Please join me in praying for everyone involved." And I would second that. And now we have this from Steve QUAYLE, Peter Thiel, founder of PayPal, and also the founder of Palantir, an AI intel group now associated with many areas of U.S. intel, is being put forth as being a deep stater and is now looking for a permanent DC location and is having secret meetings that are being described as attended by individuals who represent Tech Bilderberg. So that's going on. We have this from Dr. JEROME CORSI. And I encourage you to visit his site for his YouTube today, talking about a little history of communism and a secret speech put out by Khrushchev, the leader of Russia in the 50s and 60s, making a political move by criticizing a former Russian hero, Stalin, and Dr. JEROME CORSI ties Russia's communist period with China's historical and current communist ties dating back to Mao, and tying it to the current communist movement in the U.S. as put forth by the Dem political party. So that's going on. And now we have this from Real Raw News. President Trump, backed by God and the American people, is now arresting deep state traitors within the U.S. government via the U.S. military. So some recent arrests. Saturday, we had a Bill Step arrested by the U.S. Marines. He was involved in Crossfire Hurricane, the Russia collusion, treasonous manifesto put forth by the U.S. federal government from various groups. He was a former FBI counterterrorism high-level leader from 2015 to 2018. Obama through JB and so forth through, President Trump would have been in. He was associated with Crossfire Hurricane. So now he's been arrested by the U.S. Marines. We had also on Saturday, U.S. Special Forces arresting Nina Jackowitz, a former leader of JB's Misinformation Governance Board, putting out absolute lies to the American people. And she is tied to foreign collusion. And also arrested, the U.S. Marines also arrested Miles Taylor. He was arrested in Annapolis, Maryland last Friday. He was the former chief of staff for Homeland Security, and until 2018, he's been charged with treason. He's the author of a Trump manifesto, often called Anonymous, and also is charged with leaking classified documents to foreign nations. He was tailed by 3 platoons of U.S. Marines dressed in civilian clothing. They finally located him at a bread and breakfast location hotel. And 13 Marines charged the front and back doors of the Airbnb where he was staying, including flashbangs going off. They did secure him. All of these people are being interrogated and most likely will be transported to Gitmo. Also, the U.S. Marines last Tuesday arrested the former Director of National Intelligence under Obama, James Clapper, also associated as authoring and promoting Russiagate. So that's going on. We do see some arrest taking place of the deep staters, who I believe are definitely part of the communist Dem political party movement to destroy America from within. So it's good to be in prayer for the parents and who are grieving over the loss of their children in this church shooting, and to pray for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.